Hey everyone! Welcome back to another investigation here on MUNDO-XP. I'm Clara Bastos, and today we're diving into a game that's back in the spotlight with bold promises and a lot of physics involved, Splitgate 2.
And I'm Rafael Monteiro. If you haven't played it yet, you've probably heard of the curious mix between Halo and Portal. Splitgate 2 brings that concept back with a new look, an updated engine, and competitive modes for every kind of player.
Splitgate 2 was released in June 2025, and its main innovation is the portal system, a mechanic that allows players to place two teleportation points on the map and move instantly between them.
And it's not just a visual gimmick. The portals completely change the pace of each match, creating opportunities for flanking, strategic escapes, and three-dimensional combat that challenges even FPS veterans.
The movement system is also a highlight. Double jumps, jetpacks, and portal boosts create a level of dynamism rarely seen in traditional shooters. Control the map, and you control the game.
Splitgate 2 offers a wide range of competitive modes. In addition to the classic team deathmatch, there's Hot Zone, inspired by King of the Hill, and a Battle Royale mode with up to 60 players.
One of the biggest additions is the Lab mode, which allows players to create and share custom maps and experiences, reinforcing the idea of a game shaped by its own community.
Players also choose from three factions: Arrows, focused on speed and mobility, Meridian, with a defensive approach, and Soberansk, which emphasize raw damage. Each faction influences how you interact with weapons and portals.
Visually, Splitgate 2 made a huge leap. Built with Unreal Engine 5, the game now features more detailed environments, realistic reflections, reactive particle effects, and dynamic lighting, especially in urban or space station-themed maps.
The portals themselves are a visual highlight, now with polished edges, semi-transparent rims, and smooth transition effects. You can see through them before stepping in, which adds another tactical layer.
It's the kind of mechanic that sounds simple on paper, but becomes truly deep once you try mastering it. The graphical realism only enhances the sense of speed and verticality.
Even though it's a direct sequel, Splitgate 2 tries to position itself as a redefinition of the original formula. It presents itself as a competitive, free-to-play FPS focused on player skill. No overpowered perks or unbalanced upgrades.
And that's exactly what's attracting fans of old-school shooters like Quake, Unreal Tournament, and Halo. Here, it's all about movement and aim, not cosmetics or pay-to-win advantages.
Of course, the presence of microtransactions has already caused controversy, but that's something we'll explore in the next segment. What's clear is that Splitgate 2 is trying to strike a careful balance between nostalgia, innovation, and fair competition.
In the next segment, we'll dive deep into the controversy surrounding the launch, overpriced cosmetics, the CEO's infamous hat, and a community split between hype and disappointment.
Stick around with us here at MUNDO-XP, because the battle between ideas and gameplay is just getting started.
If in the first segment we covered the technical foundations of Splitgate 2, now it's time to talk about what happened behind the scenes and the controversies that shook the game's hype.
That's right. The launch of the early access version was met with curiosity and excitement, but also a fair share of backlash. The main reason? The price of microtransactions.
One of the most talked about issues was the so-called CEO hat, a simple cosmetic item, literally just a baseball cap, being sold for nearly $20. It sparked a wave of criticism on social media.
And that wasn't all. Other cosmetic items also had questionable price tags, with some basic skins costing as much as full games. The community responded quickly with memes, protest videos, and negative Steam reviews.
The developer tried to explain that these prices were part of a market test and might be adjusted based on player feedback, but the initial damage was already done.
Even though longtime fans returned to test the game, Splitgate 2 quickly saw its Steam rating drop during the first weeks.
Players praised the gunplay and visuals, but reported bugs, random crashes, and an unstable matchmaking system.
Online forums compared the game to titles like Overwatch 2 and Battlefield 2042, warning about the risk of overpromising and underdelivering, something all too familiar in the gaming world.
And it's worth noting, the game is still in early access, meaning it's under active development. But for many, that didn't excuse the presence of full-priced microtransactions from day one.
Not everything was negative. After the backlash, the developers rolled out weekly patches with bug fixes, balance changes, and experimental features.
Steam activity shows the dev team is actively engaging with the community, and some prices have already been lowered. They've also promised free content drops in upcoming seasons.
Many players still stand by the game, saying that with enough time and focus, Splitgate 2 could become one of the most polished competitive shooters of the decade.
The future of Splitgate 2 hinges on three things: listening to the community, transparent development, and delivering quality content.
Developer 1047 Games now faces the challenge of balancing monetization with trust. Building a free competitive shooter is promising, but it requires responsibility toward players and supporters.
Right now, Splitgate 2 is a work in progress, and while mistakes happen, what matters is how quickly they're acknowledged and fixed.
We'll keep tracking it, because here at MUNDO-XP, we don't just play games. We investigate, analyze, and show every side of the story.